Terracotta Army by Kegan.
The Terracotta Army by Kegan.
The Terracotta Army was discovered on March 29, 1974, to the east of Xi'an in the Shanxi province, when a group of farmers were digging a new water well. This area is very close to Mount Lai. The Terracotta Army is a collection of terracotta sculptures depicting the armies of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. These sculptures were buried with the emperor in 210 to 209 BC to protect him in his afterlife and to ensure he had people to rule over in his next life. The sculptures range in height, the tallest being generals, the smallest being average soldiers. These figures include warriors, chariots, and horses. Other terracotta non-military figures were also found in other pits. They include officials, acrobats, strongmen, and musicians. Upon completion, the terracotta figures were placed in the pits in precise military formation according to rank and duty. Terracotta figures are life-sized. They vary in height, uniform, and hairstyle in accordance with rank. These figures were also originally painted with bright pigments, variously colored in pink, red, green, blue, black, brown, white, and lilac. The color lacquer finish, individual facial features, and actual weapons used in producing these figures created a realistic appearance. Current estimates are that in the three pits containing the Terracotta Army, there are over 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots, with 520 horses and 150 cavalry horses. Most of these are still buried in the pits near Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. Most originally held weapons, such as spears, swords, or crossbows. Most of the original weapons were thought to have been looted shortly after the creation of the army or have rotted away, and the color coding has flaked off or greatly faded. The terracotta army figures were manufactured in workshops by government laborers and by official craftsmen, and the materials used to make the terracotta warriors originated on Mount Lai. The head, arms, legs, and torsos were created separately and then assembled. Studies show that 8 face molds were most likely used. Then clay was added to provide individual facial features. Once assembled, intricate features such as facial expressions were added. It is believed that their legs were made in such the same way that terracotta drainage pipes were manufactured at the time. This would make it an assembly line production with specific parts manufactured and assembled after being fired, as opposed to crafting one solid piece and subsequently firing it. Their existence serves as a testament to the amount of labor and skill involved in their construction. This stupendous find at first seemed to reinforce conventional thinking that the first emperor had been a relentless warmonger who cared only for military might. As archaeologists have learned during the past decade, however, that assessment was incomplete. Qin Shi Huangdi may have conquered China with his army, but he held it together with a civil administration system that endured for centuries. Among other accomplishments, the emperor standardized weights and measures and introduced an official writing script. In those times of tight imperial control, each workshop was required to inscribe its name on its items produced to ensure quality control. This has aided modern historians in verifying that workshops that once made tiles and other clay items were commandeered to work on the terracotta army. There is now a museum near the original site of the find. It is much like a visitor center, as it gives you an explanation and a brief history of the find. This museum contains just a few of the many artifacts from the original find of the terracotta army.